Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Table and Plate Project Delta podcast. You're joining me, Dr. Ellen Harris, as I learn, explore, discover, experience, and talk about food, culture, and community in the Mississippi Delta and beyond. How we flow depends on who's willing or has the time to participate. We're experiencing a time where protection and nurturing of soul and spirit are extremely important. To take care of others, you must take care of yourself. Reduce stress and garner strength for you and community. Our platform is meant to contribute to that effort and go wherever spirit takes us. Today, it's just me and our podcast for August 16th, Cookbook Club Sunday Dinner, which features Sunday preparations and are divided into 4 stations in my kitchen. So let's go to station number 1 first. And here you can see that station 1 is for dehydrating the hibiscus roselles growing this summer in the garden. Even with the tremendous heat that we've been having, the roselles are budding like crazy. Funny story is that I grew them from seed, thinking they were habanero pepper seeds. I had to have gotten the seeds from someone and mislabeled them. Oh well, surprise, surprise. And today I'm dehydrating the first batch collected over several days for tea. Now moving on to section or station number 2. So station number 2 is for watermelon rind pickling. Every time I cut up a watermelon, I think about pickling or fermenting the rind, but I never do. This time around, no excuses. It's going to get done. I'm doing my own version of pickling like I do cucumbers. It works for me. So here goes. I cut up the rind into various sections and place them in a bowl. And I'm going to show just how I cut the rind. Let's see if you can see. So we're going to cut the rind, cutting the triangular tip off first, and then cutting these pieces. Trying to make, first I thought I was going to make spears, but I just decided let's be as simple as we can be. And then cutting the rind off, depositing the peel. And as you can see, I've cut most of the watermelon, but you still get a little bit, but that should be okay. Adds to the juice. Careful not to cut yourself. Bit of that rind on the peel off. I had to do most of them beforehand because anytime I bring out watermelon, Emmy think she should have some too. So she hooped and hollered the whole time I cut the watermelon up. And so there we go. The next thing to do is to, first let me wipe my hands off a little bit. Move the slide over. Okay, the next thing to do is to this is going crazy, but anyway, the next thing is to take your spices, and I have here some cane sugar. I have my special hot pepper seasoning that you've probably seen me use a couple of times. And let me just, as I show them, I'll put them in. I'm going to sprinkle the hot pepper over. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of the sugar, not a whole lot. And it's, for me, it's just to cut the vinegar, the sharpness of the vinegar. And then I'm going to add some garlic powder. And really, the seasonings that you add, just like I do with my cucumbers, can be whatever you prefer. If I was really brining, making a brine, I would add salt, but I'm not, this is my version, so I'm not adding salt. I try not to use salt in my cooking very much. This is lemon and pepper. And then I'm going to add a little bit of turmeric and my apple cider vinegar. And this is going to be a situation where I'm adding what I have. So that's about it for my cider vinegar. And just to add a little different thing, I'm going to add just a little balsamic vinegar. And then I'm gently going to stir these things up. Rind all the spices. Station 4, no, station 3 is picking up. So let me turn this water down just a little. And here's a little bit of air. And gently stirring them. Gently, gently, gently. Stirring everything, sort of mix up the spices good on the rind. Smells delicious. I'm going to let that sit a bit. And then after letting it sit a bit, I'm going to spoon the rind in mason jars and refrigerate them for a while. When I do my cucumbers this way, they last about 2 months or so, less if I eat a whole lot at a time, but usually about 2 months that they last. So I'm going to see how these do. And the cucumbers stay crisp the whole time. So we'll see. And I'll keep you posted on these pickled watermelon rinds. Now, moving on to station 3. And you can see on my stove, I have sweet potatoes boiling. And these sweet potatoes are from my garden. They were what I thought the first and the last batch of sweet potatoes, but that wasn't the case. Anyway, boiling these sweet potatoes is a practice I started a couple of years ago, usually with my last harvest of potatoes. With the weather as hot as it's been, the garden has not fared very well and produced like other seasons. I thought the August 4th harvest was the first and only one, but it turns out I was wrong. Wonders upon wonders, another bunch was harvested as I cleaned out the raised bed last Friday. So that patch is being cured for about a week or so. Both batches include, both batches are cured by me placing them in a small plastic bag, punching holes in them, and closing up the bag and sitting them on my kitchen window for a week, if not more. Just depends on when I get to them. So that batch, the last one, is being cured for about a week or so. And both batches include mostly small potatoes. So this method of boiling them and then mashing them works very well for me. Each batch will be boiled, peeled, and then mashed and frozen for later use in cornbread, quick bread, or pancakes. It's a neat way to savor the taste of a small harvest. Last but not least is station 4. And station 4 is today's Sunday dinner. And as you can see, it's cooking. I have it turned down very low, but it includes whole okra from my garden, some leftover chicken, some corn in a tomato base, and I add a little wine just for a little kick. And the seasoning is to your preference. I have gumbo filet in here along with a little hot pepper, garlic, and I think that's about it that I put in here. And I'm simmering it slowly, and just to make sure the okra get cooked nicely. And I did whole okra because I was being a little lazy and didn't feel like cutting them up. And it's just as well. I love okra. So that will cook for a little while longer. Put the top on. And I have a small pot of rice going. It's whole grain rice that I've added turmeric to cheat and give it that yellow color without having saffron. And that has to cook a little bit longer. And that's it for my Sunday preparations. And I'm going to finish up. I'm going to jar the pickled watermelon rinds, the dehydration station. The roselles have to dehydrate for a good little while to pull out all the moisture. So that dehydrator works rather slowly. So it might be sometime tomorrow morning when the roselles are finally dried up enough to store. And I'm looking forward to having my first tea with my first hibiscus roselles that I grew. And the potatoes are just about finished boiling. I will let them cool down, mash them up, like I said, and then place them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them after I've mashed them. And my Sunday dinner is almost finished. And once I've cleared out everything, straightened the kitchen up, I'll sit down for my Sunday dinner. And with that, I want to thank you for joining me and bid you a good rest of your day. I'm Dr. Ellen Harris, and this is another episode of the Table and Plate Project Delta podcast. Goodbye.